situation, and I know we tried to look at maybe a possibility of a quick fix, but I'm kinda like, and agree with Ryan, that the pipe is falling the wrong way, we got to worry about tidal, and that's almost impossible, just to scope it for a quick fix. I think we really need to have, some engineers down there look at what we got to do to correct the problem.
Some engineering, somebody that actually knows. I mean,
Yeah.
Ever since Isabel, you people know, you've been down on the water, anywhere down close to that water, Isabel shook that place and it shook it bad. That, since I've lived there after Isabel, that whole corner is like, I mean, it's very, I was like down here in Waterman's where we lost that main with that valve this summer. When it blew, that, you could see that just how
So
much.
what do you guys recommend? I mean, should we get an
I'm
engineer?
recommending we need to get somebody in there
Brian had an
to take
engineer.
care of the problem.
Okay, I
I mean,
mean,
engineers look
Make
at
sure
it.
yeah, I mean, we've had engineers look at
Make
it.
sure we have somebody to look at it, and if we go
I mean,
forward with this, we
you've
want
seen
to
the
get it done right.
proposals, you've seen how much it's gonna cost. I mean, is that
Mhm.
something you want, maybe have the engineer come in here at the next workshop meeting and talk to you about it?
Well,
He's identified the problem, he's already looked at it.
I think
but
that's,
then what would it take to fix it?
Well, it's right there in that proposal.
I think maybe that's a good idea, Brian, is to have the.
It would be replacing the pipe.
Okay, and how did he
I
give
mean,
a
that would
price?
solve Joe's property, which
I
the
think it's
gripe
somewhere
is
in
consistent of.
20,000.
I don't think it'll fix the pipe.
20, 25, somewhere. in there.
25,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that would fix the pipe, but it's still not gonna fix with the water drain that way out that pipe because of the road being,
No.
you know, you saw it, I mean, it just,
Right. My concern is it's
I don't know what you
a stormwater, I guess, discharge pipe, and it's where it runs along, it runs parallel with that building, you're starting to see sinkholes. And as you indicated, and Joe's also
I'm
explained,
gonna have to build a bridge, how about an island?
we're gonna have to give this some serious thought.
Country down there.
I'm more inclined maybe to what Ryan said, maybe we have the engineer come in, so we can answer those questions
mean-
that you guys have.
He's a really nice guy. He'd be willing to-
I'm just looking to do it right.
Come to the next meeting?
Yep.
All right, let's do that.
Whatever we all decide, I'm
Get something
totally,
done.
you know, for the
All right.
majority, I just think
Now,
we
we've
should
got,
look
we've
at.
got that, and then we've got Haven Court, because they have a problem there too.
Now, did he look at Haven Court as well?
Yes.
And did he give any?
I think he came with 18 on that.
Okay.
So that's gonna be, have to put a new drain in from, the circle area down to the nearest drainage.
And that's another similar situation where you have that area that's settled and it's going below where the current drain is.
Yep.
And it just can't drain it out properly.
Well, I would look at a priority deal on this, and I'm not even talking about my side of the road, my property, St. Paul here. But for North Point Marina, there is a structural failure that if it did fail, I'm not sure. Chip, if we have that pipe is the town's pipe, correct? We own it. If a building does go ahead and has some,
I assume that.
I mean, that's-
I
we
don't know
don't-
whether we have an easement across there or not.
it's been there.
Well, I mean, my assumption is that that's the town pipe because it feeds off of Walnut Street. And that seems that it would make, that would
It's a
be,
drain
I
that
mean,
goes out to, I don't know, if it's right away or what, but anyway, just making his structure unstable with the problem, where it's coming from down. I don't know if it's a liability issue, if not, if something does fail.
well, I think it very much is a liability issue and that's the concern.
And that would kinda like put it forward, I mean, you know, it's up to you all, I mean, it just.
I think we get the
Existing
engineer
problem.
in. I think that's, because while I hear your concern as to, you know, we could run it alongside of where the building is and not the need over, but my only concern is, as you stated, we spent $3,500 to have Brambles put that apron in, and yet if we're gonna lose that, that's $3,500 out
That's
the
what I'm saying, I
window.
mean, if the pipe's put there, I think you got a brand new pipe, but if it's lower over here, you still got water here, not draining, it's still not going in there.
I think, you know, we've heard also, we got, you know, an email correspondence today from the folks on Hammond, and they talked about how
For the lights and the.
well, and the water, he said it was, he said with the rain and the melting, we were unable to exit our property today on foot because of the accumulated water in the cul-de-sac. I think we should get the engineer in, and I think you've raised some very good questions. You've done a very good job, Brian, getting the information, at least, you know, you've got the engineer report. I mean, you've had an engineer come out and get this. I guess, Ronnie, you've raised the point, which is it the ownership of the town? So maybe before the next meeting, we can learn what that is, and then we can all come together at the next meeting and at least get some idea how to address your concerns Ronnie, when he brought up.
They're just not, I mean, the drainage pipe is a problem, is one of the major problems there. But if it's put there and you're still not gonna get the water to flow that direction, what's sense putting a new pipe uphill?
Right, but then you got the liability issue that runs.
Then you have
along.
liability because it's caved in.
Right, right, so do we pull that pipe out?
And it's filling, and it's filling.
Run past your house?
I don't care, you go right straight out there, I don't care what you want to do.
I mean, that is a possibility.
I can pump it
but
uptown, I got plenty of water down there, I'll pump one of
Well, I-
these buildings there.
Let's get that engineer in here and talk to him about
I
it.
can build a tower up there.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
the cost that you're talking about, the 18 and 20, is that for engineering or is that for repairs?
Well, that was for the engineer to come out, who did an assessment of.
That's just for the engineering of
Well,
fixing it?
that's
or-
where he's already come out and I guess looked at it and had preliminary put some figures on paper as to what he believes will be the proper fix and
For
then
the
the cost
repair.
associated with it, yes.
Okay, I got you.
You can't do nothing without an engineer.
Yeah,
So I mean, we
understand.
just didn't have a contractor come out, I mean, Brian and I contacted an engineer, someone that could really look at it and give what he thought would be the best fix possible.
Yeah, I was just curious on, was that it? Because for fixing the pipe, that's about what it costs to fix it. Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
Good, okay, all right, any other questions?
Oh, and the liability, if the homeowner says that, you know, something that the town owns is gonna fail, or like a tree that the town owns is gonna fall on my property, can you fix it? Or remove the tree, or whatever the case, it becomes your liability then. If they never said anything, like there's a problem, then, and something happens to his property, it's his liability then. That's my understanding. I mean, you could
Well, the thing is, he's brought to our attention, I guess, enough with the
4 or 5
members.
years.
Yeah, on the board a few times, so I mean, it's not as if
So
he's
that-
not presented it.
My understanding is it became your liability once he brought it to your
I mean,
attention.
he's echoed that on a couple of occasions. He's done just that, so,
Yeah.
okay, good, thank you, Benny. Any other questions for Brian for the streets? Next is the,
Was a couple potholes today, but by the time I got home, you had them fixed, there you go.
you're up.
I went through them on the way to work, but they were fixed when I come back from work. Good job. Actually, the one on the end of Bayside and Hawthorne, that, I don't know what we're gonna do
Not
down
gonna
there.
dig that
We
one
need
out.
some soft melt there, we need the pothole pro to come there and whack that corner one.
I think when it's weather dries or something, you have to cut
I don't know
that
what-
place out,
I don't know.
dig it out a little bit and refill it.
Ever since it's thawed out, which we're gonna have a lot of places like
Yeah,
that.
you can have a lot of that.
Where we live, that's all. You live on around water, you put up with it, is what I say. Right? A little bit warmer, we're gonna be flooded in 25, 30 years anyway, we got no water here probably, right?
Good thing you got a boat.
Good thing I got a boat. Wait till the solar flare up, you don't have no computers. Yeah, fix you off. Alright, my turn. Alright. At the sewer plant, the total flow for January 2014 was 8,716,000 gallons. The average flow per day was 291 gallons per minute per day. Rainfall, which this is a little misconceiving, I think it was snowfall, but I guess if you took the snow into the rain, it was 3.5 inches. And we have, the pumps were cleaned the other day. Centigro picked up 4 loads of sludge and took it to the landfill, and good to say that we are good until spring, summerish, somewheres in that way, but up there, everything is honky-dory this week. For the water plant, the month of January, the plant pumped 4,909,000 gallons. We had a lot more rain in Rock Hall, it was 9.7 inches at the water plant, it's 3.5 at the sewer plant. One must be snow and must be rain here. Must be 9.7 snow at the, I don't know how many. Thunderstorms, I mean, they're isolated. I think it was 9.7 inches of snow and 3.5 inches. Anyways, we have a pump, a well problem that has come up. You all have this in front of you. Okay. Ronnie, do you wanna, confer on common.
Timmy noticed that, the well wasn't producing what it generally, what it's supposed to be producing. We have two big wells that we depend on. And one of them, we had put a submersible pump in the well back about 6 or 7 years ago. And, it's been doing a fine job up till here recently. It's, hasn't been producing the gallons per minute that it normally did. We had, we called AC Schultes, who put it in for us, and, he come and done it. They run a test on it and found out that instead of pumping 350 gallons per minute, it was down to about 150 gallons per minute. We have a report that, I just got today, actually, that, indicates that they're pretty sure, well, they're sure that it's the pump itself, has some kind of an issue, and that's gonna need to be replaced to bring it back up to 350. A lot of times it could be your screen is clogged up down there with rust and stuff, but this time they think it's the motor that's going bad, and there's an estimated cost of that of about $13,000 to replace it, put a brand new pump and motor in that well. Right now, the one well, if you remember, it's well 4, that thing's been running ever since I've been here, and we alternate those two wells. That one, for some reason, we've never had a problem with in my 17 years. This one, we've had trouble with in the past. Now, the last time we had trouble with it was because the screen was clogged up. This time, it's because this pump is going up down there, and up till then, it was doing a great job. Now, what they have to do is, that thing's down 290-some feet, and they have to pull that up and put a new pump and motor on and put it back down there. It's one of our main wells, and we're, like I said, we went back, we're using 4 now, but 5 is the one with the problem.
If 4 would just happen to fail, it might probably be it, right?
Well, we got a little backup well of 3 there that pump, it's a very small well that we would have to try to use until we can get something done, but it wouldn't be it's not where, you wouldn't want it to happen in the summertime.
In the
You
summer.
might get away with it now, just temporarily, but, we had to do that one other time. And we made out okay, but it's not something you want to look forward to, especially if you get close to your summer months. Really, it's one of your 2 workhorses, you really need to get it fixed, it's really.
Having said that, we need a pump and a motor. We are getting 112,000 or chunk of change back from the grant, aren't we?
Well, that money is out, that's what we put out for that.
And we do have money in utility to cover it, one-time item for a well.
We put in for a reimbursement, that's what our first check back from them would be, and the tune of 112. I mean, we've got the money to do it, it's not we don't have to wait for this other money, I mean, we can afford to do it, and I don't know how you get around not doing it, because,
It's routine maintenance to me.
It's under my recommendation, first question gonna come out that, okay, why don't we put it out to bid? Okay, that was my question. I talked to, before then, this was about 6 years ago. This company here did come in with the lowest bid. They, do know the well, since they have worked on the, 5 before, when it was 5, really well.
AC Schultes has done quite a bit of work there over the years.
I was talking to Timmy, evidently he knows what's in there. You bid it out, okay, we're looking at a month before you even order it. You have somebody else come in and look at it. Do we have a month, 2 months? Breaks down at night? No.
I think it's a small enough amount that.
I mean, we're not looking at a capital project here. We're looking at fix the well, we gotta have it. Could be other problems, could be a dry well. We don't have to face that problem, we have water in it.
Put it in a motion.
I'm making a motion to move forward with this project, the way it's stated with Schultz. It's just an estimate to go not to exceed
Well, I think if you read it, I think that's what they've estimated the fix would be, so, I mean, we should go with that number unless they come back and say there's some, found something additional, we'll have to discuss that.
Steve, when did we find out about this? How long has this been known?
No, probably
Today?
last week is when I talked to Timmy, and I guess
So it
it
was
was,
done-
first of this week is when they called the guy to come look at it,
I actually got the report from that
I mean, it's only been,
inspection today, I got the report today.
should have day probably 6 or 7 days. I didn't know about this estimate
Yeah,
coming
because it was
through.
done, it said, the letter said it was done by an inspection, that's how they found it.
No, we knew there was a problem,
We told
we didn't
them
know
that.
what was coming.
I mean, I could say that, but I knew before they got here too, so I can double verify that. And
I was just reading the letter, it said that they found no problem by
we
an
can bring a
inspection.
lie detector in, I'll take that too on this one, but, you know, not to go ahead and start anything, but
I'm just reading the letter.
I understand. Well, letters and emails are all about the same to me. I talked to Timmy, and
Can you read the letter?
yes, I can read this letter. Dear Mr. Edwards, AJC Schultz of Delaware and Company recently completed maintenance inspection on the well and submersible pump for well number 5. Enclosed are 2 copies of the inspection report for your review. Based on the test results to our firm recommendations, placing the submersible pump and motor includes the following. So it's a list of things that they need. Total cost to perform the above subject work, $13,236. After 30 days, whatever. It says, this estimate is good for 30 days. So,
So you make that in form of a motion?
I make a form of a motion to move forward the Schultz estimate for $13,326 as presented to ensure the safety of the town water supply from it.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Dean to accept the proposal by AC Schultes in the amount of $13,236. We have a second by Butch. Any discussion? All in favor? Anybody opposed?
I just think we should bid it out.
Susan, I understand, and we'll, if we had time on, these issues that come down with the infrastructure of this town are not things that you can go 2 months, 3 months. If well 5 or well 4 would fail tonight, okay, Ronnie's already said we got another mini pump. That's no guarantee. We have a lifeline of 3 towers here that, how long will that give us a lifeline for, a day or two?
If we're using 160 or 70,000, maybe 2 days before you'd be out.
What we got in the air right now, that's all we got, 2 days. Do you take
In
the
the
risk?
summertime, you have about a day.
Yeah, and do you, I mean, my point is, do you take that risk and wait 2 months, then it goes down? You can explain to the people why we don't have any more. Well, that's a tough, other than that, I agree totally about bidding things out, just on infrastructure related problems, they have to, I mean, you know they gotta be fixed, there's no, we all agree on that. This here, under our mountain recommendation, we can't go with just 1 pump, you know, if you know where it's going. I mean, we just can't, it's not enough safety net, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, the vote's through, so we're gonna.
I just wanted to go, that's the reason why I don't think it, I do agree on bidding that as a proper format to do everything. No disagreement there. I'm just bringing the urgency of this oversights, and these people have bid it out in the past, Schultz has, and they did come in as a low bid before on the same well issue. Not the city will now, but they're in the ballpark, I'm sure, because they did it the last time we did bid a project out like this.
Okay. All right, any other questions? All right,
That's all we tore up this week.
all right, I put the Broner letter on there because we did get correspondence back from legal that stated that it would be under the advice to have them redirect their letter to the utilities board. Is that something that this group's in agreement with?
What was it?
We had received a letter from our legal from the town's legal that states, if with respect to the Garner letter, it was recommended that they be